how do you create a phenomenal new business, one that can be the size of current Downstream and Conoco and beyond, one that can bring some benefits to the world that they haven't seen before, and do it in the face of uncertainty and doubt. You do it by getting a group of people with open minds, open attitudes, a willingness to listen, learn, share, teach, whatever it takes, whenever it takes, to help achieve the common goal. And that's the group of people we have in here. So look to each other as well as the leadership team. There's nothing special about it other than those are the poor guys I get to spend a lot of time with. So I'll move now to a couple of comments. And this is not, and I won't go too long, but I wanted to kind of charge the system and charge the thinking by sharing with this group some of the comments and ideas that I shared with Conoco's senior management about a month and a half ago. And they're interesting questions as you go through this evening just to kind of talk about. And they have to do with some pretty basic stuff, and that is, what is your own personal relationship with the concept of uncertainty? I've talked to a lot of people about this before. Uncertainty can be seen as negative. It can be seen as something you want to get rid of, seen as something to eliminate, as something is bad. Uncertainty is also, in my opinion, the source of opportunity. And it is how you look and how you deal with uncertainty. Is it to be gotten rid of, or is it to be embraced and used and built on? So that's my opinion. What's yours? Talk about it with each other. Think about experiences you had in dealing with uncertainty in the past. It can open up some ideas and concepts that may be well useful for us in the future. Another one, what's your relationship with failure? That's one of those, ooh, bad word, failure. We don't fail. I hope we fail. I hope we as an organization fail quickly, fail often, learn from it, move on, try again, try, fail, learn, try, fail, learn, try, fail, learn, succeed quickly. I said it fast, you'll see it in the value statements. It's fundamental to phenomenal creation, to extraordinary creation, to something that didn't exist before. If there was a playbook that wrote out every step to take, you wouldn't need this attitude. You could tolerate automatons, you could tolerate people waiting to be told what to do. You could tolerate, a very narrow focus and a very no failure mode. You can't have it when you have an opportunity like this. At the same time, it's very difficult. Most of us go through experiences in life where failure is not good. If you get a D, God help an F, on a report card as a kid, that's not good. You've lost something, whether it's driving privileges or whatever. But when you're going to create something new, and I'd like, as you talk amongst each other, think about examples where failure and what you learned from it ended up in the very short term or longer term being positive. It can be. We see it every day. It's part of learning. But somehow we forget it in the context of doing business. The last concept to think about is your relationship with time. This is my personal favorite. And that's the question of how fast is fast enough. You'll feel and should feel an urgency to get things done faster, to try more things, to move along. And why is that? It's not just a whip of go faster, go faster, go faster. For me at least, it's about how do we take ourselves as an energy company that has a certain pace of doing things. It's been developed over 125 years of business, and put it in sync with the customers that we're going after. The electronics business moves at a very different pace. Pace of change, pace of improvement, pace of putting things out of business, turnover, complete turnover in things. Think about how much has changed outside the petroleum industry in the last 10 years. And how do we get tuned to that kind of pace for that class of customer? What about automotive? Different kind of pace, different kind of change. But if we're not in sync, and ideally ahead of the pace that our customers have, no matter how good we are as people, no matter how good our business is, we'll be seen as slow and basically cast aside as not as useful to them as we want to be. Because when all's said and done, this business, by bringing carbon fiber and its applications to the world, will be adding to our customers' value and their customers' value. That's the point. It's not about plants, it's not about technology, it's not about land and plans and forecasts and finances. It never was. It is about bringing something out to the world that it hasn't had before. And it's about being part of that. And that happens through people. All the plants, all the designs, all the test tubes, all the rest of it will be insufficient if you don't have the people to take on an extraordinary goal like this and make it happen. And be willing to deal with the uncertainty, the failures, and the time pressures that go with it. So while you're talking about those concepts, also talk about why you're here. What is it about this kind of opportunity that I hope has grabbed you in the gut? Maybe a lot, maybe a little. But why are you here? There are other things you could be doing with your time. Your work life is precious. It's time you take away from your family. It's time you devote. It's a majority of your darn waking time. For me, and as an example, I'll tell you very, very plainly why I'm here. I was born to do this. It sounds like George Patton in the movie, but I was born to do this and be here for this opportunity. It's what I love. It's what I've loved and I've worked for and hoped for 23 years. And I know, and I look around this room, that there is absolutely no way this turns into anything but a success. Bumps in the road, sure, no problem. This group can handle bumps that have not been seen before. But that's why I'm here. And I hope there's a bit of that in everyone. This is not your father's business unit, all right, if you want to coin a phrase. It is different, and we'll learn a lot about what's different going forward, but it's different for a reason. And I'm really excited about the chance to meet folks. My promise, my commitment, and something else to think about in your time this evening and through the 3 days is I want to meet everybody. I joke about it. I'm not very good with names. Sometimes I forget my kids' names. But I'll work on that. What I do want to do is make sure I get a chance to shake everybody's hand, get to know you as much as I can. And I ask you to do the same thing, because that's where the power is. That's where we can compare and discuss and think about what might be. I'll close the remarks. Let me make sure. I thought really hard about this. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I'll close the remarks and use, and Andrew and a few others have heard me talk about this, again, a 25-year-old favorite quote has always resonated for me, and it's why I love this so much. And it's a paraphrase that Robert Kennedy used of George Bernard Shaw, and it's basically, some men see the world as it is and ask why. I see the world as it might be and ask why not. And it's that spirit that's going to let us create a phenomenal success in the world. So with that, the evening is yours. Thank you very much, and we'll start the formal agenda tomorrow.